This is for a top 4. This is the 1 versus the 8 in the tournament. Peter Ingram, number 10 in the leaderboard right now, looking to make it to page 1. A win for him this weekend would be huge. And keep in mind, this is a top 8 where Ingram is the highest ranking player on the leaderboard. A win's going to help him really get into the thick of things.
Right. This is the spot where a win here would just absolutely catapult him up the rankings. He's already kind of on the outside looking in, but this is what really makes the difference.
Players opening on some fabled passages. Collins Mullen finds an island. He was on the play, and we will go to his turn 2. Looking at a Watery Grave as the second land. Has some options as the play. Going to shock to 18. Fires off Thoughtseize. Get a look at Peter Ingram's hand. Island, Drowned Catacomb, Watery Grave, Opt, Thassa's Oracle, Jace Vryn's Prodigy, and Hero's Downfall.
And here the biggest thing that I'm looking at is just the Jace Vryn's Prodigy. That's the card that's most likely to run away with a game by itself, and everything else is either just a 1-for-1 or something in that ballpark.
Yeah, it's kind of a short intake in the matchup. I think you rarely are going to see a Thassa's Oracle taken at most stages of the game, certainly the early phase.
Exactly.
And JVP, like you mentioned, that's going to be the hit here. Mullins goes to 16 off the Thoughtseize. We'll head over to Peter Ingram. Ooh, nice draw step there. A Jace Wielder of Mysteries picked up.
Big, big draw.
He's going to use the Opt straight away. Maybe looking for a Thoughtseize of his own. Plays Drowned Catacomb. He will pass. Mullen will fire off that Opt. Scries to the bottom. Just going to let that one go.
Yeah.
Not a bottomed fan.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, you opt to the topped when you keep it.
Oh.
Here's a thought erasure from Collins Mullen. Get another look at Ingram's hand. You see that Jace Wielder of Mysteries that was picked up and a Swamp, which was added to the hand.
Little land heavy, but in a lot of ways, this matchup can emulate a control mirror in a big way. So just having those land drops rolled up is not actually a detriment.
And Hero's Downfall is actually the take.
Interesting. So that would communicate to me that Mullen is some planeswalker that is good against what Ingram is doing, which says to me there's a Narset coming soon.
That is one of the better cards in the matchup. Certainly in terms of just the return you get for how little mana you spend.
Ooh, I think Mullen missed the Surveil, and now they're seeing if that is optional or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see how this is ruled. I think usually with hidden information on top of the deck, if you could change it or not, there's this thing that happens where, with a scry, for example, we just say, all right, you didn't do anything. It's treated like you scried it to the top.
Yep.
It's not drawing a card. The impact is different. Maybe not enough has happened in the game. Maybe Surveil is different. We'll see. This is why I'm over here and the judge is over there. They're going to take care of this.
It's exactly the thought erasure ruling. They're just like, nope, this guy doesn't know it. Put him in the booth.
Yeah, if you know, then you can't do commentary.
Those who can't do thought erasure rulings talk.
All right, so no reversal anything there. Thassa's Oracle cast by Ingram, and Mullen is going to Mystical Dispute that.
See, and that's Ingram knowing that Narset is coming. Ingram needs to be able to pressure it somehow, and Mullen choosing to protect.
Back over to Collins Mullen. Looks like he has a Thoughtseize, a Jace Vryn's Prodigy, the Narset you've been alluding to. No fourth land. So some choices. Looks like a dig through time as well. A lot of choices.
I believe at this point I'm most interested in developing the Narset, just because it's the most mana efficient and also one of the harder spells to actually resolve once Ingram has time to find things like Mystical Dispute.
And face up, it just checks the hand that you know about.
Exactly.
And there's Narset. That resolves. Mullen's going to use that right away. Take a look at the top 4. Looking for some non-creature action. It's a backup Narset. That's okay.
See, it was just 3 mana, put a Narset onto the battlefield.
Not bad.
Yeah. Love to put things on the battlefield.
Among my favorite game actions.
Always been a Battlefield fan.
All right, Ingram's going to draw. Mullen knows about 2 lands in the hand. There's a third one in the mix as well. Then there's that Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, which is kind of shut off by the Narset, and a Hero's Downfall that was drawn for turn against a face-up, backup Narset. Rough going for Ingram here.
Yeah, it feels like Ingram's really starting to fall behind because on these exchanges, Mullen is just coming out ahead a card.
Ingram's going to cast the Wielder of Mysteries, mill himself for 2. A land and a dig through time, hit the graveyard.
And this is Ingram protecting from both hand disruption spells and future counter magic from Mullen.
For Collins Mullen's turn, it's Thoughtseize. Takes that Wielder of Mysteries, sees Island Watery Grave as leftovers. Goes to 14. Narset's going to activate again. Mullen probably feeling pretty good about playing against 2 islands, as he finds a Jace, Wielder of Mysteries off of the Narset. Here's Jason's Prodigy and tapped Choke Estuary.
Ingram really needs to find something off the top here.
Found Opt.
Well, that's a start.
Something
Not
adjacent.
till Mullen's turn.
Right. Don't want to use that right away.
Oof.
Another dig through time milled over by the Jace. When you're not drawing and you're milling your best card, that is very frustrating. Back over to Collins Mullen. Now with an active Jace Friend's Prodigy. Here's a 5th land and a Drowned Catacomb. And here is a dig through time for Mullen. Ingram is losing all of his, and Mullen is cashing one in. Mullen exiles the entire graveyard to do it, which is pretty nice. He decides that the Merfolk Looter part of the Jace is what he wants.
Right, and when you're this far ahead, you've got to feel like it's okay to actually try to go for the combo.
Right.
We see Mullen pick up the namesake from the deck in this dig through time as well.
The Inverter of Truth. You see Inverter and Jason in the hand. And Pack Rat, so just more trouble for Ingram.
And look at all the different kinds of threats Mullen has here. There's this backup combo in hand. There's Pack Rat. There's Narset locking down Ingram's own combo. And then Jace can eventually just turn into its own combo piece. That's to say, value in a control mirror is kind of just a combo. But, you know.
I don't think I've seen a Telepath on Bound Emblem win a game of Pioneer yet, but I'm sure it happens in some of these. Ingram's going to opt on the end step, so we can actually draw the card.
Is that an Inverter?
I believe it to be.
That's an Avenue.
He's going to cast the Inverter of Truth. Shuffles up something like a 10-card library here. Both players are going to review the contents real quick. Might be 11. It's an 11-card deck there. Hero's Downfall, Thassa's Oracle, a couple Dig Through Time, Jace's Prodigy, second Hero's Downfall, Opt, and 3 lands.
So it's actually possible to get through this library pretty quickly because this Inverter of Truth can attack Narset. So that means these Ops will be online, Jace's Prodigy will be online, Ingram's Jace on the battlefield will be online. There's a lot to like about this line.
Ingram might need some help. Mullen picking up that Inverter. His intended line, just one he can go for, he doesn't have a better option, is just trying to block and then comboing back.
Well, there are 2 downfalls in the deck now.
That's a good point. Those are the good ones for Ingram to draw to.
Deck's about 20% downfalls.
That's better than a lot of top deck odds.
Yeah, a lot of people will say things to the effect of, oh, I had a 7-outer.
Well, got a little bit worse.
Top card was the downfall.
Jace mills 1 away. Mullen's going to loot with the Vryn's Prodigy on the end step. Yeah, he does want another card or 2 in his graveyard before he puts an Inverter down because he doesn't have his Jace established yet and he's playing against a Jace.
Correct.
Got to be mindful of that stuff.
And these are the types of turns we were talking about before that you brought up, how they're so decision intensive and everything feels so condensed to the power turns.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 major considerations, and we're talking about a decision on the end step. We're not talking about even looking at next turn just yet. He discards a Dig Through Time. We go to Colin's Mullen. Looks like a backup Inverter was drawn. But he's got to check that Inverter or that Jace.
Yeah, this is a hard spot to be in. Because if you cast one of the Inverters in hand, you die. But you actually have to do something, so we're likely going to see Mullen loot here.
That is where he starts. Draws a Fabled Passage.
So, Fabled Passage in the discard is actually a way to go up to 4 cards in library. Which is relevant in the face of this Jace with Inverter of Truth. It lets you bridge to your next turn having a Jace.
Right. Mullen looking at discarding the Fabled Passage. That is where he lands. But he needs to protect his Narset, and the way he's going to do that with the Inverter of Truth. And the plan also is to combo his own on the way back. So here's the Inverter. The deck for Mullen is now Fabled Passage, 2 Dig Through Times. Ingram has a deck with a couple lands, a couple Dig Through Times, another Hero's Downfall. That's the big one. That's basically what he's drawing to here.
Is there another Jace in Ingram's deck?
Don't believe there was. There's a Thassa's Oracle.
Right. It wasn't even about milling Ingram there. That's just 4 cards off the top of Mullen's library.
Draw step for Ingram. It's a big one, but I think it's Dig Through Time.
That's not so bad.
He's going to mill himself. I suppose that's kind of a dark ritual.
Oh,
no. He makes the dig cheaper, but he misses his second Hero's Downfall. Both of them milled over there.
Actually, wait. No, wait, he wins.
Oh, just get to dig for Oracle
You get to
then.
dig for Oracle.
Yeah, I believe the library is small enough with the Jace. It's 5 pips.
This does it.
So here is Dig Through Time. We will reconfirm the cards in the library. It's 7 or fewer, I'll tell you that much. And you take 2.
Oh, my God.
7 minus 2 is 5, and it's at most 7 cards. That means that Thassa's Oracle with 5 pips does it.
Unbelievable. This is why Pete Ingram is on the tear that he is on right now.
This is why he's number 10 on our leaderboard and is about to be a smaller number.
He's just double counting everything. You can see it on his face. He's going, oh my God, do I have it?
Do I have it, and is there any way to modify my play? I'm looking at my entire library. This is my combo. Can I play that any safer? Do I just shove? But I believe he just shoves, and I believe he wins.
You gotta. There is no other option here. Does he even have the mystical dispute to back it up?
See him even giving a shuffle to the rest of the deck. He gets to choose the order, though. Thassa's Oracle is in the hand. Inverter is going to attack. Looking at attack on Narset. That's where it goes. So the Inverters trade. There's Thassa's Oracle. Is that good?
And
players confirm cards in library. It is enough for Peter Ingram to win the game.
oh.